then I will tell. Think about you all the time. If you give, then I will tell.
Alright guys, welcome back to Crypto Educator. How you all doing? Yesterday's price action was kind of convincing that maybe we'll be putting on some reversals in the price action, but nothing happened, guys. Check out. I mean, let's simply jump into the charts. I'm not going to waste anybody's time on the stream right here. So essentially what happened is that yes, the attempts were kind of legit, and yes, Bitcoin did try to close this candle above this price point. And on yesterday's stream I was talking about how Bitcoin, if it really closes this candle in a bullish engulfing fashion right above 23,500, things will start looking different, and this would be treated like another higher low as compared to this one. But you can see what happened on the daily close, guys. As soon as we started going towards the daily candle closure, man, oh man, inverted hammer, just a reversal price action right here. I mean, essentially wrecked. Bitcoin got wrecked right at the daily closure, and now we're simply proceeding down to our 55 simple targets, which is simply going to be at 21,500, guys. A clear-cut downside target on Bitcoin that is up the cards, and there's going to be a clear-cut 5 to 6% leg to the downside to simply capitalize on. Essentially, this entire daily candle rider did stop out a lot of people on these levels as well, but the ultimate, guys, the ultimate trend reversal really happens when you close the candle, at least close the candle. Well, essentially you want to close and open a new candle above certain price points for any trend reversal, but essentially you can see what happened, guys. I mean, we did wick all the way towards these levels, but ultimately right at the daily closed, we got pushed back below some key levels. So if you talk about the 4-hour time frame, you can see, guys, one single bearish candle to fuck this price action back below some key areas, and well, oh well, the daily closed really bearish. Now we're going to be expecting a lot of resistance coming from these price points right here. And look, similar price action is happening on Ethereum as well, guys. I mean, I was talking about how, if let's simply recap from the previous 2 streams that I've been talking about, clear-cut facts that if Ethereum's price action really does something like this, we'll be expecting something like this, guys. So yes, I mean, market is going through a lot of chop, which is what is happening right here. And essentially, until you lose this price point once again, essentially we are testing 1600 levels on ETH once again, until daily candles trend starts to establish below 1600. It'll be a chop. Essentially, it'll be a massive chop. I'm looking at a big... Alright, I think this indicator right here is not working. Anyway, let's get rid of shit which is not working, guys. Alright, so let's just simply conclude BTC right here. Not much happening in the market. I mean, well, apart from a lot of bull traps, nothing much is happening in the market, right? So downside targets remains the same, and the upside, look at this fucking price action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight rejections taking the price action down on a daily trending basis. This is a daily downtrend, guys. We had 2 massive candles, and the confirmation above the 55 simple was pretty nice, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can see how this entire thing is shaping out to be completely bearish. We do need to see a lot of momentum from the bulls end coming from the bottom side, but most likely we do teleport down towards the 55 simple at first. And let's see what really happens right there, guys, because this 55 simple is also aligning with the key breakout zone as well, something which Bitcoin has been really retesting again and again, but it's really not establishing a good looking trend. So essentially, in non-trending markets, what are you supposed to do, guys? What are you supposed to do in non-trending environments? Stick to 2 to 3% moves, right? Try to capitalize on even 1% moves as well. If you have consistency, if you have a system in place, just stick to small movements in the market, and you can simply intraday trade, guys. Having any positional trade in the market is going to be very difficult, and you can see right here, I mean, going for any bullish exposure is being punished, going for any bearish exposure is also being punished in the small time frames. What is working out right here in these landscapes is a clear-cut scalp strategy, guys. Like, people with scalping strategies are maybe making shitloads of money in these kind of environments, honestly. Yes, I mean, if you are making shitloads of money trading this chop, let me know in the comments. That would be really amazing, and hats off to you. Hats off to you if you're doing that. So Bitcoin really continuing the downtrend in the small time frames as well. This is a simple stepping price action to the downside. Let's conclude Ethereum as well real quick, because well, do we have any new developments in the price action? We don't, guys. We don't really have anything new going on in the market as a whole, right? But what we can see is that this is a series of rejection, and a diagonal trend is it's simply building up alongside this entire price action zone right here. And the recent rejection zone being just beneath 1700 regions is also something which is going to be a key element in the small time frames. If you are trading intraday, and if you are massively shorting the fuck out of Ethereum in the market, I think being aware of $1,700 or maybe $1,680 levels is going to be a key factor in the coming days altogether, right? I mean, once you start establishing a 4-hour trend above this price point, then you might retest $1,700 or $1,800 levels as a whole, and that is also a range to capitalize onto the upside. It's going to be a 6% leg, guys. Now, on the other hand, I mean, the key thing right here is the downside targets for Ethereum, guys. And essentially, I'm going to be putting a lot of focus on today's candle closure for Ethereum, because it's going to be deciding. I mean, this will decide a lot of things, right? I mean, the first reaction that came beneath $1,600 levels was a good one. I mean, we did establish a good looking pin bar, but ultimately, guys, look, here's the thing. I mean, you should know how to read candles as well in the price action altogether. Let me get rid of the fucking VPVI, which is quite annoying, honestly. But essentially, you can see that this is a clear-cut pin bar, right? This price action is a pin bar which came from your $1,550 levels, $1,559 honestly, and this closed pretty much nicely above 1600 regions. But you see the size of this pin bar right here. I mean, you have a massive upside rejection and a massive downside rejection. That essentially calls for a confusion, guys. This is not a clear trending bias coming from one single candle. So that was your confusion candle in the market altogether, and the next candle right here was an immediate rejection from your 1700 regions, which was a confirmation that no, we don't have any strength from these levels, and the trend is simply dripping to the downside. And most importantly, guys, this is a non-trending behavior, and this week essentially has been completely non-trending for Ethereum and altcoins as well, which is why it's kind of difficult to capitalize on any positional trades in the market. Once again, it's kind of difficult to capitalize on anything which is moving more than 10%, because not a clear direction from Ethereum and Bitcoin. This has been the entire week. Essentially, the entire week has been full of chops, guys. Fucking choppy behavior. Holy crap. But today's candle is going to be another pin bar rejection coming from your $1650 levels. So once again, sellers are kind of pushing the momentum to the downside. Once again, guys, the downside targets will be at 1400 regions, and this is a clear-cut leg to capitalize on, guys. Now, essentially, if you're leveraging yourself out in the market, like if you're going for a 10x leverage, it's going to be very, very difficult once again, right? So don't really try to over leverage yourself, and be aware of key levels. If you see a daily closure above 1680, just maybe step in the sidelines, or maybe hedge your exposure, right? If you're simply net shorting Ethereum, what you can do is on FTX, if you're short on Ethereum perpetual contract, you can long the futures contract if the price action goes above 1680. So that is called hedging. But look, here's the thing, guys. You should really know what you're trying to do in the market if you're simply hedging your exposure, because things can go quite wrong as well. I mean, it's not an easy task simply to hedge your exposure with the help of futures and perpetual contracts. It sounds interesting, you can do that, but most essentially you need to have a plan before you really execute these kind of hedging strategies in the market altogether. With that said, Troy, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you, man. Morning. Once again, you're driving and you're listening. Cool stuff. Good stuff. Okay, well, essentially, you know the deal right here, guys. I mean, this daily candle closing below 1600 means that yes. Before the weekly candle, I mean, that should really happen before the weekly candle closure as well. Because once again, the overall trend is really choppy in the market. So if you jump into the weekends with a non-trending bias, I think you should just refrain from taking any position in the market during Saturday and Sunday. It's just going to be a choppy behavior on Saturday, Sunday once again. If you close onto these levels, if Ethereum is unable to close a candle below 1600 before Friday, essentially, things will be choppy during the entire weekend. So today's and tomorrow's price action is going to be, well, quite defining and quite telling for the coming week as well. Let's see what the weekly time frame is doing on Bitcoin as well. We didn't check out the weekly time frame, so let's jump into weekly on Bitcoin real quick. Let's see what's going on there, guys. I mean, real attempts were made right here. I mean, yes, the previous weekly candle did close over the 200 simple on the weekly itself, but essentially the reaction which is coming after the closure is not really strengthful, guys. Not really strengthful. I mean, bears are being those sneaky bastards, kind of selling the price action. I mean, bears are really trying to close this candle below the 200 simple on the weekly time frame, and if it really happens, that would mean that this is probably a bull trap. This was probably a bull trap for the coming week and probably for the rest of the month itself. And once again, non-trending behavior all across the freaking market. So that would also be kind of sad, honestly. But let's see, guys. Let's see what happens, right? On Ethereum's weekly price action, what do we have, right? Do we have anything different? Let's put on the 200 simple. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's kind of different right here. On the weekly time frame, Ethereum's price action is way above the 200 simple on the weekly itself, which reminds me of a very bearish element, a bearish price target, according to the thumbnail for this video itself, is going to be the retest of the 200 simple on the weekly at your $1, $2, $3, $4 regions. It's going to be $1,234 regions for Ethereum's downside price action target, right? Although I do believe it's going to be really massively choppy, guys. It's going to be massively choppy. What you can do is, if you're trading the weekly trends, for example, if you're simply jumping into a swing trade on Ethereum and your time frame is the weekly time frame, you can start managing your risk above 1680, guys. I mean, 1680 is kind of turning out to be a pretty relevant level for Ethereum and most of the altcoins of the market. Honestly, digging deep into the markets, looking at the price action on an intraday basis, we can determine that yes, 1680 regions are, well, areas of key interest for a lot of altcoins as well in the market. Just watch Ethereum, guys. Just watch Ethereum. If Ethereum is able to reclaim 1680 on a weekly trending basis, well, things will start shaping out different. Then we can probably entertain these ideas about taking the price action all the way towards 2500 as a whole. But until that is happening, benefit of doubt stays with the bears in the market, guys. The selling pressure will kind of continue down for a retest of the 200 simple moving average at your $1,234 $34 levels on Ethereum itself. That's the ultimate downside target coming from the weekly. Let's talk about Solana on the weekly, guys. Let's take a look at this price action on the weekly. What is Solana doing? We don't really have a 200 simple on Solana, I guess, right? Do we? We do not, guys. We do not. Solana has not traded for more than 200 weeks, which is why we don't have a 200 simple on Solana. We might have 144 simple. No, we don't have 144 simple as well. Kind of interesting. The closest and the most relevant moving average we have on Solana is the weekly 55 simple, right? Let's put on the 21 simple as well. Let's see what's happening on the 21 simple on the weekly for Solana. Are we anywhere near that? Are we? No, we are way the fuck below 21 simple as well on Solana. So Solana overall is massively bearish on the weekly time frame. So if you're looking at Solana as an investor, this is what a clear-cut bear trend looks like, guys. And essentially, there's a huge bearish cross between the 55 and the 21 simple, which calls for a midterm concern. If you are bullish on Solana for the midterm, yes, this bearish cross will tell you a lot of things, right? Okay, another shitcoin. I just don't know why I added to the list. It's called Internet fucking Computer, guys. What the hell kind of name is this? Internet Computer, ICP for you guys right here. A pure shitcoin, guys. A pure shitcoin. I mean, give me a trend which is worse than this. Just tell me something which is worse than fucking ICP itself, guys. I'm open to ideas right here. I mean, right at the listing, this one got rejected from 28 freaking $100 levels and is currently trading at negative 99.7% of the market. Holy crap, guys. Holy freaking crap. Charts don't lie. Charts are not gonna lie. I mean, Definity, correct me if I'm wrong, Definity is the blockchain, right? I mean, whatever promises they might have up their sleeves, charts are telling us something else. Charts don't lie. So their plans are essentially not working out altogether, guys. Which is a bad news, essentially, right? Essentially, we just have to take a look at the small term price action for ICP, which kind of is formulating an inverted head and shoulder. But although I would be really cautious if I'm going for any bullish exposure on this shitcoin right here, because the past performance is just sad, guys. I mean, it is just sad. It's what it is, honestly. It's just massively bearish, which is why any bullish pattern coming from this macro bearish trend is going to be weak as fuck, guys. Honestly, even if we break out of this entire inverted head and shoulder, which is under formulation as of now, the breakout probably would be a huge bull trap in the market, and bam, after that down we'll roll. Probably ICP will go towards your dollar levels. $1 per ICP. Is that even a fair value? I don't know, guys. I don't know. The market will decide what's the real fair value for ICP as a whole, but probably it's just going to go down all the way towards $1 regions in the coming days if Bitcoin is not able to establish a base. I mean, holy shit, guys. Imagine Bitcoin losing $18,000 levels. That would be massively wrecked for ICP. That would be bad news for ICP altogether, right? Okay, essentially this is what I am looking forward to, or at least I'm speculating on. Although the breakout is, even if it really happens, it's not going to be that strengthful, guys. But there you go. A fucking ugly looking inverted head and shoulder, maybe a consolidation above $7.5 regions. So if you're long on ICP, I mean, essentially this is the level I'm concerned about, right? $7.5 regions. If you see a daily trend below 7.5, just sell it off. Just get rid of your ICP exposure in the market. But the ultimate target is probably going to be a resolution which will be towards your $15 to $16 levels. And if you talk about the price action structure, that is kind of coinciding with the rejection level on a lot of altcoins in the markets as well. So the ultimate target for ICP, if it resolves the upside, is going to be at $16 levels altogether. But I think it's a far-fetched opinion, guys. Even if we see ICP breaking out of this zone, most likely it'll be a sell at $12 levels. A massive sell zone at $12 levels might be looming in front of us for ICP as a whole, right? So a pure shitcoin, guys, a pure shitcoin. Let's look at the weekly trend for ICP. I mean, do we really have to look at the weekly trend? Probably not, because you know the deal right here. This is just obnoxiously bearish, simple bearish. RSI on the weekly has never been able. I mean, this is just. Let's not talk about it anymore, guys. Okay, I think we don't really have much things to talk about on Bitcoin's price action. Not much to talk about on Solana's price action as well. On the hourly, we do have a pattern which is formulating, a squeeze which is formulating on the hourly time frame itself. Ultimate downside resolution on this entire trend would most likely take the price action towards $35 levels on Solana itself. And if we do, well, I don't think it will resolve to the upside, but if it really does resolve to the upside, the ultimate upside target is going to be at the high volume node on $42 levels. So if this pattern resolves to the upside, we're probably looking forward to a 6% leg to capitalize on Solana all the way towards $42 levels. And if it resolves to the downside, we'll be looking forward to $35.5 levels coming into fruition alongside this entire liquid zone, which is once again at 35.5. So that is going to be the ultimate downside target for Solana. Now, if we talk about this entire trend right here, I mean, once again, guys, this is just a bear pennant, right? This is a simple bear pennant in the market. I mean, in the bigger picture as well, the bigger context is telling us that the overall trend is bearish, and we are simply consolidating, guys. We're simply consolidating and kind of being bearish overall in the market, right? So maybe Solana's resolution does come to the downside, which would be an ultimate retest of the $20 levels. And for the macro, you know, guys, you know the deal for the macro time frame, it's going to be just underneath $20. I mean, essentially that is where I begin my accumulation cycles or targets for Solana as well. It's going to be below $20 as a whole, so I'm waiting for that level to come into fruition. Until then, you can see, guys, I mean, well, multiple rejections coming from $42 levels on 3-day, a huge spin in top, huge rejection from $45 levels, and this is a follow through candle right here. So yeah, which is going to be closing in the next 8 hours right here. So maybe Solana is going to be confirming a clear cut downside momentum, which will follow up pretty soon, right? Well, let's talk about the small time frame downside targets. Yes, it's going to be aligning with this entire liquid zone at 29 regions, and I believe it's going to spend some time going sideways at 29 regions. Even if we kind of consolidate and go to the downside, most likely something like this will happen. A lot of bear traps, bull traps, and then the ultimate resolution will probably happen below $29, guys. This is the key level of interest that I'm looking forward to for a potential breakdown and a continuation leg all the way towards $15 as a whole for Solana, guys. So until you're not losing $29 levels, it will be a massive chop. Although I do believe the ultimate resolution on Solana will come to the downside, guys. Okay, with that said, I think I should be ending this live stream right here. Pretty short and sweet, unlike yesterday's live stream, which was more than an hour long, folks. We had a lot of things to talk about on yesterday's video, right? But today, essentially, market is just not doing anything. Market is just not doing anything altogether, guys. Okay, all right. That said, I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, just hit that like, and I will catch all of you pretty soon, guys. Bye for now.